Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but this is going to happen. Your lawnmower pull is going to break or come close to it. So today we're going to find out, can you replace this with Paracord? So stay tuned while I investigate and find out. So this is my 19, 20 plus year old MTD lawnmower with a Honda engine. This is the original cord for it. I have never replaced the cord. So, you know, it's about time that this one wear out. I don't want to have to buy another one. So, or at least anytime soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can replace this one with Paracord. The first thing I have to do though is I got to take this whole assembly apart. We were just doing yard work, and wouldn't you know it, this thing started to separate. And I almost didn't get it started because I was afraid it was going to pull apart. And because it pulled, it was making it more difficult to separate. Now I know I could go buy a new pole. I could go up to the local Ace Hardware, pick up a new pole. They're not that expensive. But the problem is, they're kind of a pain in the butt, and I don't want to have to replace it again. So what do we have here? This is the inside. Basically, this is all I had to do is I have to just take that apart. But I'm going to also have to get this out so that I can rewind and put in a new cord. And to do that, I need a hex screw. Found my hex screw, and I have to take this whole thing apart, this whole assembly apart, and this thing has never been undone before. Oh, that actually tighten it too much. There we go. I was going the wrong way. If you ever wondered what the inside of it looks like, there you go. Okay. So you can see here, this became way overstretched and it's starting to break, as well as the knot here is going bad. So we're just going to cut it. So now the trick is going to be getting the right amount. Oh hell. And I made a big mistake in that the spring came undone. So now I'm going to have to redo that. So learn from my mistakes, guys. Give me a few minutes to get this fixed.
A few moments later.
So that took forever and a day, but I got that done. So now what I got to do, you guys may remember this stuff. This is the stuff I got from China, but it is nylon. It was good quality, so you know what? I don't feel bad about using it at all. Now the trick is going to be I gotta not only get it in here, but I also have to wind it enough that I can pull, because remember, it's got to have, it's spring loaded, so I have to be able to wind it. So that's going to be the trick in and of itself, is getting it to where I can tie it off. So the tie is right here. I gotta get it through. So luckily, oh hell. See, that's the problem, is I gotta get it through, and then I gotta get it over into the correct hole. So that's going to take a little bit of work. Learn from my mistakes, people. Okay, so I'm going to feed it through here, grab it, and then I'm going to lift this just a bit so I can get it through the hole that's right over here, so I can pull it through and tie it off. Let's see if, so the diameter on paracord is just a bit more than, because this is what it was before, so you can see it's a little thicker, but paracord should last longer. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll keep you guys up to date on it. Okay, so now I got a good knot. I want to get it into the hole because I don't want it creating any type of like resistance. So I'm going to kind of shove it in there. Just to make sure it's not creating any problems there. Now, what I got to do is I'm going to have to feed it. And for some reason, it is not. Let me mess with this. I'll be right back.
One eternity later.
Okay, y'all. Sorry about that. Spring came completely undone. So what you have to do, though, is once you get everything back in place, you have to pull the spring to as far as you need it. So then you have to feed the line through, like I did here, and then allow the spring to pull as much as you need. So I have a good, we'll call that 6 feet, a cable to get that going. So now what I got to do is I'm going to have to put this back on, and we'll test it. So stay tuned. Okay, now that this is done and I got it fully pulled, now what I have to do is I got to take care of the handle. So here's the old handle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to feed this through. I want it a little tight, but not super tight. So it's got to go to about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark and I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to feed this through. I'm going to melt the end. Not that. Pull that through, so that's good and tight. Come up here. And now, let's run the test. Let's see if this worked. And all this effort was not in vain. Okay, pull this down. That wasn't expected. And there you have it. It worked. I might have to tweak this a little bit, or it could just be my spring going bad, but let's do it again just to make sure. I'm not going to say it was easy, but guys, it's possible. This should last longer. I'm using real nylon. I'm not using the Harbor Freight stuff. So I'll keep you up to date. But until next time, don't let life get in the way and keep paracording. Later.